For the Holocaust not to happen again, you need a state of Israel. That's the #1 lesson that one needs to learn. And there's a huge disconnect. Look at what's happening all over the world to synagogues, to Jewish JCCs, to schools, and you're not even blinking because you think that has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. You think it's anti-Zionism or it's anti-Israeli government. That's a huge disconnect. That means that we're not doing the best job that we could.
Aviva Polonsky, president of the Hebrew Teachers Federation of Toronto, a leader, an educator, and a proud advocate for Israel and Zionism. In Toronto, she leads with strength and heart, standing for Jewish pride, identity, and truth every single day.
You asked me how we fight this. We fight it like Aviva does. Aviva is about like 4'2". She's this tiny, tiny warrior princess. If we have enough Avivas against the Jew haters, we will win.
So as a history teacher, I'll ask you, does history repeat itself?
פרספקטיבה, הערוץ הישראלי בצפון אמריקה, משודר בחסות דוקטור מרק שטרן. החיוך החדש שלכם מתחיל במרפאה בקנקון, מקסיקו. BH Group, Designing Your Future. נדל"ן in מיאמי. אייל מלמד, מומחה נדל"ן לישראלים במיימי, פלורידה. סיגל, Custom Builders. רוננה ברג'יל, מספרת הבוטיק שלך ברחוב יאנג. גולדסטאר, Appliances Repair. Fresh Coke, כל המוצרים הישראלים שאנחנו אוהבים, בפינת בטרסט ורדרפורד.
How do you embed significance in that word Zionism to your students when all they hear outside is that Zionism is bad, Zionism promotes genocide?
One thing that I teach grade 12 Israeli society, and also I taught Holocaust grade 12 for many years, is that just because you think that it doesn't mean it is. What is Zionism? The history of Zionism, the different types of Zionism, and the students really get a true understanding of what Zionism it is. And it's really is Israeli nationalism. That's what it is. And nationalism is not a bad word. It's when it's extreme that it's bad. So loving your country, or loving two countries, if you're a Canadian citizen and you love Israel and you love Canada, or a US citizen, whatever, you love these countries, there's nothing wrong with being patriotic and loving your country. It's when you think your country's better than everyone else, that's the problem. And that's where there's a confusion about, you know, the word nationalism in general. And Zionism is simply feeling that, knowing and that Israel has a right to exist like any other country in the world, supporting Israel any way you think you can, and that's all it is. And the fact that society has twisted the meaning of it doesn't mean that we abandoned that amazing word. I'm a proud Zionist. I'll never apologize for it. And so to me, it's very important that the students have Jewish pride and feel a connection to Israel. And that connection can be subjective. Every kid feels it has a different way to express that connection that they have with Israel. Some will go on a gap year, some will make aliyah, some will go visit, some will volunteer, some will donate money, whatever it is. I'm first a teacher, but of course, to be a teacher, you have to have maternal instincts. It goes hand in hand, you have to. Because a mother is responsible, and a mother would do anything for her cubs. And that's how I see myself, and the teachers see themselves as at the forefront. We're like at the forefront, you know, and we are like the Janusz Korczak, really. To me, he sets the bar of the top educator. So to me, every single Jewish educator sees himself as the protector, the educator. Your driving lesson on the 9?
No, it's on the 6th. Oh, she's a very good teacher.
She's a good teacher? You hear from your friends?
I hear. Well, my friends don't go to her school, except I have one friend who goes to her school, and she loves her. They always talk about her. They're like, she's the one who always says, make sure you have your Jewish pride, make sure you're wearing your Jewish pride whenever she walks into the library.
I respect the mission statement of the school, and everyone can do what they want. And if any girl wants to wear Jewish pride, I'm more for it. I don't care. I renamed the kippah to Jewish pride, and ever since that happened, they actually like doing it.
Wow.
Can you share with us a little bit about your personal background? How did you find yourself teaching Hebrew studies? Where did that come from? I mean, you're Canadian, you could do anything in Canada, you can teach in a regular school. Why Jewish school?
Because I love Jewish history.
You're a history teacher.
I'm a history teacher, and I'm also the department head of Ivrit. So my undergrad was in history. My graduate degree is in second language acquisition. Those are my two loves, because I really believe that knowing history is a huge, huge advantage in life. The past is prediction of the future. Patterns of the past are very important in order to analyze where we are. Everything in life is pull-push factors, ripple effect. And I always tell the students, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're, whatever it is, knowing the landscape, the political landscape is super important, but things don't just become. There's process, cause and effect, and it's like a domino effect. The domino here falls, but it's because of the domino from 2,000 years ago. So I think it's super important, and I just love history. I love it.
So as a history teacher, I'll ask you, does history repeat itself?
Yeah, there's one difference. It's not going to repeat itself. We have a state of Israel that is strong. We have a military. It will never happen again. If we didn't have a state of Israel, look what has happened since October 7th. And we do have a state. Now imagine if we didn't have a state of Israel, what would be? And I always tell people, and I tell the students, and I tell the parents, when you forget who you are, don't worry. Someone else will remind you when you least expect it. If you forget your core and your Jewish identity and where you come from, along the way, somebody was your friend who you thought, you would do anything to be accepted, to be, part of their group is going to call you that name that you never ever thought in a million years they would call you. One of the pillars of my DNA is Israel. I was born in Vancouver, actually. And I moved to Israel when I was around 6. And my critical years between the age of 6 and 17, I was in Israel. Sometimes I come across sassy and tough, loud, noisy, dramatic, but sometimes I have to be that to do my job well. But I'm really very good-hearted. I don't keep grudges. And when somebody's nice with me, I'm like 10 times nicer. For us, it's so much more than just teaching. It's so much more than just a job. We really do see ourselves as the gatekeepers.
Of what?
Of Judaism, Zionism, Torah, whatever you want.
In the diaspora?
In diaspora, yes.
Wow, that's a heavy duty.
We have such profound impact on the future generations, and we are the ones creating leaders. And we ignite the light of Judaism, of love of Israel, of tikkun olam, of community, of the sense of community. We do that. We have a huge responsibility. When we had in the school 2 bomb threats and people started thinking and the kids were talking, I could hear about, oh, we should take out, some of them said, should we take our mezuzah off? I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a proud Jewish Israeli Canadian. There is no way I'm bowing down to this. And I remember when there was a bomb threat at our school, and the next day students were hesitant to go to school. I made a post on social media and I said, I expect every one of my students to show up. I'm going to greet you at the entrance of the school with an Israeli flag, and I did. The head of school, Jonathan Levy, and myself, we were there with Rini Cohen and other teachers. And I have to say that we are always, Israel's above everything.
How did you experience October 7 in real time?
It was horrible. I just remember my husband coming in, it was like 5:30 in the morning, because he walked the dog Saturday morning, and he said, Aviva, wake up. We need to see what's going on in Israel. And I said, okay, another missile, not a biggie. And he said, no, 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 I'm telling you, this is different. I said, really? I couldn't believe it. And I opened the TV and I was just shocked to my core. Because as a history teacher, at that point in Canada, we didn't know that much yet. It was 6 in the morning. It was 1 p.m. in Israel. Even then in Israel, things were still unfolding.
Very chaotic, yeah.
But something in me said this was different. And right away I said to my husband, this is really bad. This is so bad. It shook my core. The shock was, what is this Yom Kippur all over again that I used to hear and teach about as a history teacher. Those were days of my grandparents, those are not the days that we live in. Could this actually happen? Like, could we actually be at such a danger that we might lose our state? And this can't happen. And I was talking to my good friend in Herzliya and another friend in Tel Aviv in real time, and they were very, very worried about the streets. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what is going on here? I couldn't believe it. I was really, 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 really depressed. But I pulled myself up very quickly. We can't, as Jewish educators, fall apart. We can't. Now, there were some teachers who fell apart. I understand. But when there's a crisis, what makes a person a leader is that in a time of crisis, they go on autopilot and they take control of the situation and they keep marching like a Roman legion. Let's see what we can do to pull everyone together. As a community, we have to stand with our heads high and we have to do whatever we have to do. And we set an example for students. We can't fall apart. We have to show them strength, Jewish resilience, Jewish strength. We have to show that we're not going to fall apart. We're going to keep marching, and we have a state of Israel, and we're strong, and never again is never again. And we're never going to let the Holocaust happen again, ever.
You have a big responsibility, a lot of things to do, but I know that right now there's, again, I read it on your Facebook, that there's some kind of a crisis within the union. Can you explain us a little bit what it's all about?
So, in a nutshell, right now we are in negotiations with Associated Hebrew Schools. Actually, it's a school where I came from many years ago. I love very dearly. And considering there are not a lot of Jewish studies teachers out there, it's actually, there's a shortage of teachers in North America, that you would think that some kind of, that the items would reflect appreciation and goodwill. But the items were radical, unprecedented, and actually demonstrated lack of appreciation.
Give me an example.
Whether it was, and I won't go into all of them, but I'll give you examples. Whether it's to mandate that female teachers wear skirts below the knee.
So it's not about the skirt above the knee?
No, it's about trust. It's about trust. And if you trust the teacher to be with your kids 8 hours a day, you should trust that they know how to dress professionally. Right. I never put my ego above the best interest of the organization or the students or the teachers. And I have reached out personally via text to the president of the school just to move things along and to repair and restore the trust. And like a family, I hope that even though we have kerfuffles, that everyone at the end of the day wants the best interest of the students. The circumstances move me on to the next. And I feel like my job isn't done yet. Here. In North America, it's not done. I think I have more to do. I feel like a sense of calling, of making a difference. And every time I make the conditions better for the teachers or I change policy, to me, that's what or I create a leader, I'm like, tick, right? I still have a few more things to do.